It's Arsenal 1, Brighton 2. Another loss for Arsenal after losing 3-0 via the weekend. Arsenal have gone ahead to lose their second consecutive game in there for you. Sorry, it was Monday. They lost on Monday to Crystal Palace by 3-0. Now they've lost to Brighton in there. Another good footballing side in there. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I know it's not a good night or evening for both Arsenal and Manchester United fans all over the world, because both of these teams have lost in there. United lost to Everton by 1-0, and Arsenal have gone ahead to lose to Brighton by 2-0. A very disappointing result to Arsenal, a result that has really put their hopes of the fourth place in doubt, because as it looks ugly for Arsenal. It looks ugly. It looks very ugly for the Arsenal side, because they've played 30 games. Arsenal has played 30 games and they have 54 points, and Spurs has also played 30 games and they have 54 points in there for you. Now, that means their level on the number of games they've played with Spurs, and they're at the same number of points. That means if Spurs goes ahead to win against Aston Villa, they are going to stretch their lead to 3 points in there, and you never know what Arsenal is going to put up in their next game in there, because they are playing Southampton. However much Southampton has been beaten by Chelsea by 6-0, you don't know what Arsenal is going to bring for you here onto the Premier League football as it concerns in there for you. Very, very ugly win for Arsenal, a result that everyone wouldn't want to talk about in here, because I expected Arsenal to come in and really win this one, though I knew that it's not going to be an easy one, because Brighton is really a better side either when it comes to footballing. When you look at their second goal, it shows you how a better footballing side Brighton is, especially when Arsenal is lacking its midfield in there for you, with Thomas Partey out and the left back who goes by KNT was also out, and then the manager did something erroneous that I really never would do, having a full left back, because he really played badly the game of a team which goes by the names of Crystal Palace, and you did a very bad thing to put his morale down, the only left back that you have, and you bench him. And not even benching him, he never even appeared onto the match squad, because he never wanted to be castrated or really be put on the spotlight, asking him, why did you start Granit Xhaka into the left side, yet you had a left fullback in there for you? Now he has a reason to give that maybe Nuno Tavares was ill, but all that goes back to Mikel Arteta, and I really believe that Arsenal has lost this game because of Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta had to get Nuno Tavares to play off the left side. You get? Play off the left side. After playing off the left side, Granit Xhaka would have been in the midfield. When you look at the bench of Arsenal, I really believe that he had more other things to do. He would have done better, according to me, because if you never wanted Nuno Tavares to play that side, I think when you look at the bench of Arsenal, Rob Holding was there. You would have put Rob Holding and Ben White into the central defense. Then you get Gabriel Magalhaes to play off the left side. But you cannot, in such a game, get Granit Xhaka, one of your best midfielders, and you play him off the left full-back side. That's out. I really blame Mikel Arteta for that. And even if we did it, even the first goal came from that side. If you watch that game very well, the first goal came from that side. Now, and I think where Nuno Tavares is, he's celebrating, saying, oh, they would have said I'm the calamity. Now, guess what? Even the person that was put into that position cost Arsenal a goal, that is Granit Xhaka, and the first goal came from that side in there, and Brighton got the lead in the first half. So it shows you that Arsenal shifting from a 4-2-3-1 to a 4-3-3, I really believe that it's a system they're not used to playing to, and they just resorted to it because Thomas Partey is away. Thomas Partey is away, and Tierney is away, such that they never had a left back they trust. So what he did, he got Granit Xhaka to play that side. That was a very big mistake, according to me, and that is my view. I don't know what Arsenal fans think about it, but I really believe that we rather have Nuno Tavares play that position, because he gives you a lot, especially when you are going forward. It's a matter of telling one of your CDMs, your central midfielders that are playing to the midfield pivot, that Lokonga, watch the run of a man who goes by the names of Nuno Tavares. When he goes, make sure you give him support and block that side, because he's exciting when going forward. You get, Arsenal missed so much because Brighton is not a team that's going to sit back. No, they'll let you have the ball, and it's a team, it's coached by a manager who goes by the names of Potter. He believes in the philosophy, attack me, I attack you. That's it, that's Brighton. You attack it, it will attack you. That's Brighton. And in a game like that, you fail to put your best flying left back onto your bench, onto your starting 11, then that is a tactic gotten wrong. Not Alvarez. This was the best game for him to rebuild his confidence back in Arsenal shirt. This was the best game for him, but the manager opted for Granit Xhaka. Yet, I really believe that Granit Xhaka would have offered more into the central defensive midfield role than the left full back role where he was put. That's what I really think. And Arsenal missed a lot, Granit Xhaka in the midfield, because that midfield of Brighton that had Caicedo, they had a player who goes by the names of Yefis Bissouma. They had Mpuenu. So those three players in the midfield made it so hard for Lokonga, Emily Smith-Rowe and Odegaard in there. And I will believe that it's something that Mikel Arteta won't repeat to do, because it costed him a game today, and Arsenal look like they have now opened it back to the level of competing with Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur, because Arsenal have a game in hand and they are just 3 points ahead of Manchester United, and now the table is 100% open. It's very much open, and we don't know what's going to happen to the Arsenal side in there for you. When you look at the goals that Arsenal conceded, I'm not going to come in here and blame so many players, but for the second goal, I really believe that we take it back to the manager. Why? The area where who scored the second goal is Enoch Mpuenu. Where Enoch Mpuenu meets that ball is the place where Granit Xhaka was supposed to be for was playing the CDM role. You get? But he gets that ball without any pressure and he places it into the lower right bottom corner, and it's a goal for Brighton. You get? So I really believe that it's very cynical to come in here and not attack the manager, because Arteta did something bad. I'm having Fasola Anu says, seriously, Arteta is nowhere to be found. Yeah, in this game, he was nowhere to be found because his tactics let him down. Arteta is a very good manager, you get? But in this game against Brighton, he would have gone all for it. How do you go all for it? Bring in Nuno Tavares, because you know he's good going forward. Then you tell Granit Xhaka that you go ahead reservingly to create space to give a very good backup to Nuno Tavares. Let Tavares do his game. Let him flow. You get? Because the more he gets forward, the more space he creates in there, and he narrows down the pitch. One thing I really like about Tavares is simple. Each and every time he gets that ball, he does not go wide the field. He cuts inside. That's not Tavares for you. I love him for that. Many Arsenal fans will come in and slam him, but trust me, in a game like this, you needed him or Kian Tierney. And in the absence of Kian Tierney, who will do the job? It's none other than Nuno Tavares. Talk about Lokonga. Having a very decent game today, but as I told you, the problem Lokonga has, he cannot run the midfield. He's a very good passer of the ball, but he cannot run that midfield. He can't. Because when you're against Mpuenu, Yefis Bissouma and Caicedo, all those are CDMs, but they can do the box-to-box role, and they are energetic. Their physicality is on a different level altogether, and they are very much confident on the ball. Now you can't get all those three midfielders and put them onto the shoulders of Lokonga, because Lokonga was acting as the CDM, and Emily Smith-Rowe and Odegaard were midfielders who were really going forward, and they couldn't close down these people. So it was a load for Lokonga. He couldn't do what he's supposed to do apart from passing. It's obvious passing that he did today. You get? Because he doesn't have that drive through the midfield, and the person who would have really given him another shield to go in and do that is Granit Xhaka, who was played as a left fullback. I really believe that where Arsenal got it wrong was when the manager brought in Granit Xhaka to play the left fullback. That's where this game changed. Lots of things happened in this game, but the worst mistake Arteta did was to get Grant Xhaka and play him into the left fullback. He was supposed to play into the central defensive midfield alongside Lokonga, such that Odegaard plays ahead of them and he gets freedom, because Odegaard never had freedom. He never had freedom because he knew that it was Lokonga who was behind him. But if at all you have a player like Grant Xhaka and Lokonga behind you, then Odegaard would have done his magic. You saw even Bukayo Saka was nowhere to be seen into this game. And Martinelli was closed down easily because they played with a 5-man defense. When you look at Emile Smith Rowe, he was even substituted off because he was not to the levels we know. Alexander Lacazette, nowhere to be seen in this game. Cedric Soares, nowhere to be seen in this game. He gives you no reason to start into the next game of Arsenal. That's why they're welcoming Tomiyasu and I really fancy him to start very well in there for you. Which other player? All of the players of Arsenal, at least for today, they really showed that they had some love and they had come to play a game of football. But in the game of Crystal Palace, they are totally off. But in this game, at least they've tried to show that, all right, we can come in and do some good nitty-gritties in there for you. But it was not called for, and Arsenal really lost this game. Odegaard came in here with a wonderful strike, and it was 2-1, close to 4 minutes to go. Arsenal was closed down very well, and it couldn't get itself a result from this. 2 losses in 2 consecutive games, and they've conceded 5 goals in the previous 2 games, taking us back to where the season started. Arsenal losing to Brentford, they lost to Chelsea by 2-0, and Arsenal couldn't score in there. And even their 3rd game they lost, and Arsenal was at the bottom of the table. So this comes in at a very bad time, because this period of time is where Arsenal needed to be more prolific and more consistent. Because if Arsenal was consistent right now, it would have been competing with Chelsea. But Chelsea have gone ahead to stretch further from them, and now they're like 5 points ahead of a team which goes by the names of Arsenal in there for you. Are they 5 even? Let me even check. They are not 5. I think they are now 8. Chelsea is having 62. Arsenal is having 54. You get? That means Chelsea has now stretched to 8 points ahead of Arsenal. Yet if at all Arsenal had won that game of Crystal Palace, Arsenal would have really had a very better result in there for you. But all in all, Arsenal have been beaten by Crystal Palace and Brighton, something that really hurts, and I really believe that it puts a lot of question marks onto these players by these fellow supporters. But all in all, I want to let you know that don't throw a lot of dirt to these Arsenal players, because this is something they're not used to. They're not used to competing at this level. And I told people that give Mikel Arteta next season, and in the season of 2024-2025, Arsenal is going to be here competing for a trophy. I talk it right now. You can cut out this video and save it. Arsenal is going to compete for the Premier League title in 2024-2025 season. Trust me. That's when Arsenal is going to compete for it, and they will go for it because Mikel Arteta is building something wonderful at Arsenal that most of you have not yet discovered, but it's something great that is being built at Arsenal by Mikel Arteta in there. When you look at Brighton, they really played very well, and I really like their coach. They don't come out and respect any opponent. Their coach knows one thing: go in and pass that ball. I mean, look at his signings. Mpuenu, Yefis Besuma, and Caicedo. That midfield 3 is just good. It can close out any midfield in the Premier League. And Arsenal never won the midfield battle. The midfield battle was won by Brighton, and you all know that games of football are lost and won in the midfield, and that's what happened to a side which goes by the names of Arsenal in there for you. But Mikel Arteta's substitutions, I really believe I would have kept Emile Smith Rowe on and took off Bukayo Saka, because Bukayo Saka for the previous 2 games, he has been shit. I say it and repeat it. Bukayo Saka has been shit for the previous games, and it looks like you need to really get him off the pitch. And secondly, he has played lots of games this season, yet the team relies on him. And in a game like this, when you see that things are not working out, it's better you take him off and get him prepared first before you take off Emile Smith Rowe, because I really believe that in a game like this, Emily Smith Rowe would have offered more, especially if at all he was moved further. And how do you move him further? You get Lacazette off the pitch, get Martinelli to lead the line, get Pepe off the left-hand side of the midfield after getting off Bukayo Saka, then Emily Smith Rowe switches off to the left. I really believe he would have offered more because Lacazette offered nothing. And I saw no reason as to why you keep Lacazette onto this pitch, because his experience is not helping Arsenal. It's not helping Arsenal. You get the best way to gauge in all these players to play is doing the needful and get him off the pitch and see what happens in there for you. So guys, feel free to go into the comment section and tell me what you think about this loss of Arsenal in there and how they really would have approached this game of football in there. When you look at the statistics, 20 shots by Arsenal, 8 shots by Brighton, 4 shots on target for Arsenal, and 3 shots on target for Brighton. 65% ball possession for Arsenal, 35% ball possession for Brighton. And I really tell you that ball possession does not win a game of football if at all you don't utilize the chances you create. And when you look at Arsenal, they created chances and they really couldn't really put them at the back of the net. That's why I've come out and told you that Arsenal today played better than how they played against Crystal Palace. To that list, they showed up on the field of play, but in the game of Crystal Palace, they didn't at all. They didn't at all. When you look at the passes, Arsenal completed 506 passes, Brighton 281. Passing accuracy, 83% for Arsenal, 70% for Crystal Palace. 12 fouls for Arsenal, 19 for Brighton. Yellow cards, 3 yellow cards for Arsenal, 4 yellow cards for Brighton, red cards 0, 2 offsides for both sides, 11 corners for Arsenal and 2 corners for a team which goes by the names of Brighton. But all in all, Arsenal have lost their second consecutive game in a row and they are now on their knees to see to it that Aston Villa does something to Spurs, because if Spurs wins today, they would have stretched themselves far much better from a side which goes by the names of Arsenal. I go by the names of RD. Feel free to go into the comment section and tell me what you think about this game of Arsenal as they've lost to a side which goes by the names of Brighton. I'll sign out for now. See you